All right.
That's not bad.
Little smallmouth, spring fishing. Congressman Jim Greenwood's with us. I'm Bob Murray. This is Delaware Valley Outdoors. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one.
Delaware Valley Outdoors, your best source for fishing information on TV, radio, and the internet.
That's a good one.
All right. I love when a plan comes together, Jim. Oh yeah, that's a decent fish. That's a dang good fish.
There you go.
There
Whoa.
you go. There you go, bud.
That's a good one.
Hey,
That's a
I'm
good
Bob
one.
Murray. Jim Greenwood. We're out here on the Delaware River. Whew, man, that was a hard fish to catch there,
That was
buddy.
a nice one. That's a nice
Yeah.
one.
Using tubes, springtime. Drifting along, it's a good day out here. We're going to catch some more fish, I know that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Neat part about this piece of structure, Jim, is that it really holds fish. I mean, it has a huge wall, and
Old handmade wall.
yeah, and it's unbelievable that they cut that stone and hand laid it for the canal. But what the stone does is actually in the springtime, it warms up because we get a lot of sun on it in the morning,
Okay.
which attracts the fish. Fish are cold-blooded, and they want to stay as more comfortable as they can. So they'll get really close up to that. And one of the things that a lot of people will miss when they're fishing this is they don't fish the wall. They'll fish out from it,
Right,
but they won't fish it. And then you're banging right up against the rocks. And literally those fish are laying right off of that.
Sure.
And you just do it. Now when the water's high, they are really tight. As the summer progresses and the water goes down, then they'll move off of that. But they still use this as a really major piece of structure. So anytime you come in, we're up here in the Delaware, but anytime you see a nice, long, expansive wall like this of stone, definitely fish it and fish it real close, because those fish are just laying right up there.
Well, I'm bouncing.
We might have to fish it 3 times.
I'm bouncing this tube right off the wall, dropping right in there. Oh,
Look at that. Just,
that was a hit, but we didn't
right
get
there. And you know, Jim, how you're doing that too is you're skipping it. That's very important, because what that does, it makes the bass think that a creature has been scared.
Right.
So when you hear that, it makes them more interested in, hey, what is that? You know, fishing's fun, but with your schedule, you don't get to do much do you?
Not nearly as much as I used to before I went to Congress. I used to get out pretty much every other weekend in the season for a little bit. I live right on the river, so I could just wade out my front door and fish that way. But now schedule's heavy. It's anywhere 3, 4, 5 weekdays in Washington. If I'm not in Washington, I've got appointments in the district office in Doylestown or in the Oxford Valley office, and then you've got speaking engagements at night and then Saturdays and Sundays, and so it's pretty tough to get away. So this is a welcome change.
Yeah, I know. When we talked about setting it up, it was you had a very fine window to fit it in. That's that would be hard for me, because you know how much I love to fish. Oh, I don't know. I'd be skipping out on Washington or something.
Yeah, well, duty calls, and people expect. You know, there's so many people want you to come to their functions and so forth, and
well, that must really take up a lot of your time. I know.
It's a lot of Saturday nights, a lot of Friday nights, and then sometimes even on Sunday. I try to keep Sunday as a family day as much as possible for the kids, and you know, I actually do have to cut the grass and fix the toilet and you know, paint the windows and that sort of thing too.
So when you get a chance to get out, though, you got to make it all account.
That's right. We got to catch fish real fast.
You got to catch fish.
Do it in a short window. That's why I came to you.
That's it. Yeah.
Little guy.
Now those are the typical males that are just hanging out. That you know that you're going to find on that tube again. You just, oh yes, oh Jimmy, I had a nice dog.
Let me see if I can get him for you.
Get him. There's some fish in there. Some of the stuff that we use other than baits, Jim, is a stuff called Mega Strike, and it's a fish attractant. Okay, and what you do is you just put it on the tube, and it has a lot of enzymes in it that actually fool the fish when the fish has it in its mouth, that it believes that it's actually something that's edible. Now, a lot of times the fish are going for strikes, but you know they're attacking the bait. But when they hold on to it, it gives the angler a little bit more time to set the hook. So they'll hold on to it. It's rather odoriferous, if I may use it, but it really does a nice job. And you just put it on, and it stays on for a long time. I mean, one of the objects is for you to keep using this over and over again, you know, that kind. But it really does a really nice job of doing it. You can put it on a spinner bait. Now we're putting it on the tubes, but again, we're pitching this stuff up in there, and it's moving down. That fish comes up and holds it, and it just gives you that extra second. It's the difference between getting a nice fish like you had and you know, just casting out there. So
let's try it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
Can refuse to be a victim, and we can help. Call now about the I Refuse to Be a Victim safety course from the women of the NRA. It's not about guns or joining the NRA. It's about planning your own personal safety strategy. Call now.
It's a little one.
All right. On that tube again.
Yeah, you just took it right under that tree trunk there.
Yeah, well, a lot of times, Jim, these fish will they'll relate to something, whether it be rock or like a piece of wood. But there you go. Here's a prime example of those fish just being on a hunk of wood.
Yeah, a little structure.
Yeah, and and one of the things that you see now, you got a piece of wood coming up here. It makes a current break, and they'll be right behind it. And that's where you picked that fish up, was off that current break, right behind those pieces of wood. Did he hit it hard, or did you just tap it?
Oh, you hit it good.
Jim, you're busy being a congressman and all that, but you really like to get in the outdoors a lot. It's just tough for you anymore, isn't it?
I love to fish. I fished all my childhood. A lot of times with my dad a lot of times sneaking back into the Churchville Reservoir where you aren't supposed to go. And as I moved up to the river, I love to fish on the river, but I don't have as much time as I used to. I am a struggling fly fisherman, like most fly fishermen, I think.
Right.
But it's, I love to do it. And well, I surf fish at the beach, and like most surf fishermen, with mixed results.
Well, you know, the area that we have right here in Bucks County is just amazing how much fishable water we have here. Yeah, we have Lake Nakamixon, Lake Galena, we have the Delaware River, which obviously is my favorite, and you've been on for a number of years. And
well, what's nice is, you know, there's been such environmental advances since Earth Day. Mm-hmm. We all know the river is so much cleaner now. The Nakamixon is a lot cleaner now because of what we've been able to do to prevent the agricultural runoff, and it's been a joy to see the whole fishing environment improve, from the shad runs to other species that we're seeing that were a lot less common not very long ago.
Yeah, well, you've been on the river as long as I have, and you've seen the changes on the Delaware River from, you know, all the pollution that we had back in the 60s and stuff like that. Look how clean and beautiful it is. As a matter of fact, we're just talking about how many beaver are out here.
It was exciting to see the beaver return, which I think is another indication of the quality of the environment. Of course, it wasn't very exciting when the beaver took my crabapple down earlier this year.
That wasn't a plus. But I mean, the clarity of the water, it's amazing, and how beautiful it is along here. And you've worked hard to keep it that way too.
Well, I think the people of Bucks County, this area, have a real appreciation for the environment. That's why they moved here for the most part, for the quality of the environment, and doing the kind of things that are necessary to prevent the industrial pollutants, the agricultural runoff, the sewage runoff. Has really been hard and expensive work, but it has paid off in spades, and we're all the better for it. Now, if we could catch a fish, we'd be really doing something.
It'd be a plus. All right, now play it easy. Play it easy. This could be a good one.
This is a good one.
You have to back reel, and you can just back reel them, okay? You don't have to worry about the drag.
Ooh.
Okay, just let him go. If he wants to go, you just let him go back the opposite way. That's all. Where's that little dog at? That's it, Jimmy. Come on, baby. Just see if you can bring him up this little. He wants to go. Let him go. Okay. All right. No, back here.
Oh, that's a horse. Oh.
What do you think about that one, son?
That one will do. That one will do.
There you go.
That was a nice fight.
Wasn't it?
That was a nice fight. I was afraid I was going to lose him.
No, you did an excellent job.
Well, thank you for reminding me to let him back reel it.
Back reel it. You know, that's something that a lot of guys, you know, that they'll count on the drag, Jim. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the drag. Drag will work when it has to, but when you back reel that, you just let you're controlling as much as he wants to go, he can go. When he wants to come, he can go. But this way, you wait for that strength, and when that happens, that's when you lose the fish. And
don't be too eager to get the fish in the boat.
Take our time. Take our time.
That's how you lose. That's
a
fish.
pretty one. Well, Jim, we're here with the tackle box section. We're going to go through some baits that we did, but we're going to get to the last bait that you kicked butt on today, my friend. You really, really did. First bait in the springtime I threw it this morning, and I caught a fish on it.
Right,
and it's my go-to bait. It's my Durstein spinner bait. What I did even today, because the fish are short hitting sometimes, I put a trailer hook on it. You were throwing spinner bait and you were seeing how the trailer hook works because you were catching stuff with it. So it really is an important thing, especially when you're out and you want to catch some fish. Now we have tournaments coming up, stuff like that. Every tournament angler puts a trailer hook on because you can't afford that miss. The colors I like with the water that we had, I like a chartreuse head and this iridescent kind of pepper thing. What it does, it gives it a two-tone effect, a contrast. There's always a contrast what fish look for, and I also have the contrast in the blades of a gold and then a silver. So it's a that way. So what this does, it gives off two different kinds of flash, because as a fish swims through the water, it does give off different color flashes as it, as the light hits it. So the fish, and it's got a nice profile. Next bait, again, springtime crayfish. Crankbait. We threw this a bunch today. Didn't catch any fish on this today, but again, I would recommend it to anybody who's going to fish the river for smallmouth, is the crankbait. Again, in this pattern, it's fire tagger with a orange and yellow belly on it, and the brown back looks like a crayfish. And what this does, it just dives down, hits the rock, bounces around like that, and it attracts the fish. Again, this water wasn't very deep because we weren't fishing that deep. Well, maybe 3 feet, that's about it.
Tops.
Yeah, but we were fishing close. We know that. Another bait that has caught fish, and we heard of a big fish being lost on one of these baits.
We did.
Anyway, and that's a jerk bait or stick bait or minnow type bait. Rapalas, whatever you want to call them. This is probably my favorite. It's a silver and a black back. What it does, it mimics the bait fish out in the river at this time of year. And I like to go with a little, you can go with a big one, but sometimes this little compact one is the difference that makes it. And again, you can have them in the gold with the black back and stuff like that.
And is that mid-range?
Yeah, that's just, depending on the pound test you're using, this will dive about 3 feet. Heavier line, it'll bring it up more. But we're using 6 pound test. I think that's basically it. I was using maybe 4, you were using 6. That's perfect bait. The quicker you twitch it, the higher it goes up, the slower, you'll get it on the top of the water. So you can vary the depths of this. And it's really an easy bait to use. Okay, I got to start talking about the tube.
I never fished that before.
We started fishing and we said we got to go to something else. We had to slow down our presentation and we went to a tube bait. This bait that I have here is a Durstein tube bait. It's what they call watermelon colors. Again, what does it mimic? It mimics a crayfish or some kind of a crustacean type of thing. And again, we pitched this, and you taught me a lesson, my friend. I usually throw this, pitch it up, pop it, jig it, pop it, jig it. You, on the other hand, were throwing it up and swimming it, and that made a big difference. You caught a lot of nice fish swimming this bait back. So here's a little tip that I learned from the congressman here, that swim back. But now, the tip that I gave you,
it's the Mega Strike.
What's the Mega Strike? It's a fish attractant, and what we did, I didn't put it on my baits, I put it on his baits, and he outfished me with this.
So that's your excuse?
Yeah. I thought I could get away with that one. But it really does, what it does, it lets the fish hold on to the bait longer. You've noticed that. Those fish were actually holding on to the bait as you were bringing, as you were catching them, they would hold on to it. You'd feel the hit, and it really does a great job. It stinks all at high heaven, so if you do, make sure you have a towel with you, because if you put it on your pants, man, it's not a good idea. And the other thing that what we used today was a weedless hook. This is a weedless jig that a friend of mine, John Hawthorne, turned me on to. A lot of times I fish my my jigs Texas rig, but John said, try this, and this bait has really done well. What you do is you just slide this little keeper up into your bait, punch it through, and then when you bring it back out, you just drop it in like that. And as you notice, we threw it into a ton of stuff.
A lot of reeds, a lot of twigs, and spent more time fishing and less time trying to refine our hook.
And when we're bouncing it off the bottom, this is one good thing because it doesn't get snagged into the rocks as much as the other ones do. And again, once you pop it through, there it is. There it is, and then you just tie it on and just fish it, or swim it back to the boat with a little Mega Strike on it.
A la Greenwood style.
A la Greenwood style. And that's the tackle box.
Do you think it's more likely that the fish will hang in this riffle here because there's a source of food coming down, or do they avoid it because it takes more energy to fight the current?
Actually, it's a twofold thing. They're using this because this disorients the bait.
Oh, it disorients
Yeah,
the bait.
because it's fast water and the fish will they'll get swept down here. So the fish will stay over in this slack water right on the edge. As you can see, matter of fact, you see out here where you have shad fishermen, they're doing the same thing. They're on the edge of that drop-off where the shad will go. We're going to do the same thing here, as that this acts as a way for the bait fish and crayfish and everything else just to come down, and the fish will come up. Now at nighttime, they'll really move up onto this area much more aggressively to feed. And they like to be like low light conditions, early morning, in the afternoon. They'll move up onto these areas, and then as the light gets heavier or stronger, then they'll move back into the deeper pockets.
So the bait fish are going to be coming down here. They're not seeing the game fish, not seeing the bass.
Right.
Bass are hanging right in the edge, waiting until they see that fish coming down out of control.
Right, and they don't want to, like you said, they don't want to expend a lot of energy. And one of the things that you understand is the fish don't like to go very far.
Right.
Because the longer they're out of there, they're in harm's way. They don't know that they're not the biggest fish in the pond, because since they've been this big, someone's been trying to eat them.
That's a good point.
Right?
Never thought of that.
So they just say, look, if it's that far, I'm going to go get it. So when you were casting, you put it in that little pocket, those eddies, and just like this cut that we're doing, that's where the fish are going to be. So you've eliminated a lot of water because you say, wait, where's the most likely spot? Well, here it is. It's got a great little cut here. We got deep water. We got everything we want, and they're just going to lay right in there. And you got also, we got the trees here. Bugs fall in the water, that kind of stuff. That's where the fish will always hang right in there. And you get the thing is that there's the microorganisms which the bait fish feed on. Okay. Then the bait fish obviously are attracted to the big fish. So it's a chain. So yeah, this is a great spot to look at it. So when you're reading the water, Jim, this is one of the things you say, okay, I see a riff, I see a pocket back there. You just put it right in there, and guess where that fish was? He's hanging in a slack water, fast water comes by, boom, boom, and he hits it. What we have here again is water coming in, but as you can see, it's coming through the trees, and it's making a little swirl back in here. So what we want to do is we want to throw, like you're doing, is throwing your bait up in there and having the bait bounce back naturally, because we're talking about we're using a tube right now, and that bait looks like a crayfish. So you want the bait to be just tossed up in there, and then just bounce it down. That's it, and bounce it down. And
it's perfectly natural.
Yeah, and those fish are just waiting out here, and they'll just come right up, hit it, and then they'll go back down. Of course, hopefully, it has a hook in it, and we can catch them.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand.
Earthshare is the workplace giving program bringing the leading environmental groups together. Support Earthshare, support them all. To learn more, please visit our website.
Wild Turkey Woodlands program provides materials. It provides a seed program, also technical assistance through their biologists. The land has been here for eons. It's only mine and my family's for a short period of time. We're the managers and the caretakers of it. That takes into account our way of life and our interest in our hunting heritage. And the Wild Turkey Woodlands program is the greatest conservation habitat development program of any conservation organization in this country.
You know, in the springtime, one of the best spots to fish is behind any kind of a current break, Jim. And we have here, this is the, actually this is some of your old stomping grounds right here. This is
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant. And the Tohickon Creek comes out, but what this island here, or current break, does is it lets the fish come up under here into this area what we have now, and they'll go up here and spawn. But this keeps the fish, because that fast water out there is they don't want to fight that, so they'll come back up in here and lay in here. Now, the water's been dropping, but when it gets higher, actually the fish are really basically up in those trees and right behind any of these current breaks that you see. And so what we try to do is get behind here, and then we'll just fish this whole area up. And one of the neat things about this is the fact that the Tohickon kicks out and it creates an eddy, and we're being actually swept up the river without even doing any work.
Well, isn't this the what they call the lower eddy, and then there's upper black eddy was another big eddy up the river?
That's right. This is the
lower eddy.
Right. A lot of good walleye fishing in here too in the wintertime. Fish, because it's down below there where the pump is and stuff. From there, it's a nice hole, and the fish winter in that hole, and then they'll move up into here in the springtime to spawn. So we're just going to pitch these tubes and spinnerbaits up in here, and we have one fish back there. Let's see if we can get some others.
Yeah, I think there's one with my name on it right over in this little cove here. Whoa!
Bring it over here. I'll get it for you.
This is a good one.
Just bring it here. Come here. Come here, fishy. Come here. Come here. Come here.
That's a fish.
There's a fish. Now this is now, how do you call these
I
fish?
said there was one there with my name on it. I don't know where it's written, but
it's got your name on it. Beautiful
that makes
fish.
the day.
Beautiful
nice
fish.
fish.
Hey, Jim Greenwood, Bob Murray, Delaware Valley Outdoors. Congressman, thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
I tell you what, we had a heck of a good time today. Laughed like anything, dear gosh. Hey, Bob Murray, Delaware Valley Outdoors. Don't forget to go to our website, Delaware Valley Outdoors, fishing forecast. Maybe you even see a picture of us there.
There you go.
I'm Bob Murray. I'll see you on the water.